Welcome back to the second episode of Sonics Forever Live. My name is Brad Burns. Not that either one of these gentlemen need any sort of introduction, but sitting next to me is the Rain Man, Shawn Kemp, and next to him, the Glove, one of the 75 best players in NBA history, the head coach at Lincoln University, Gary Payton. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, guys. We're gonna have some fun, talk some hoops, talk life, whatever you want. But this is gonna be a fun little ride. Let's start with your friendship. You guys are genuinely friends. Like, no BS. Compare that to a couple guys out of Chicago that seem to be beefing right now. There's a situation in Philadelphia between Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Like, the list goes on and on with duos. Even Magic and Kareem not that they don't like each other, but they're not friends. Like, you guys are legitimately friends.
Yeah, always have been, man. Shit. We about as close as you can get, I think, when it comes to friends. That's the way it's supposed to be. No authentic, it's all authentic. Me and Gary, we didn't start out the same year, but he came in that second year and my second year. And we've been friends ever since. His history speaks for itself. It's the reason that he's Hall of Fame.
I think it is. It's because me and Shawn, we hung out a lot more.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
what I'm saying? And we communicate with each other. The people that you're talking about probably doesn't have communication that we do. We pick up the phone and talk to each other almost every other day. I talk to Shawn. So it's one of them things where if you know a genuine person that you want to be friends with, that's like my brother. So it's like, we just click like that. You know what I'm saying? Other people might just fake it because it's a basketball, and then all of a sudden they leave each other, and then they don't get in touch with each other. When Shawn left me in 97, after the 97 season, and went to Cleveland, that was one of the worst days of my life.
Well,
You know what I mean? Because they took my soulmate away from me. That we had been playing for 7 straight years together, and next thing you know, he get traded, and then it goes downhill from there. But we still kept in touch, and that's where I think anybody's friendship should be if you do that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. That's why I've always said, man, we're the best duo in basketball.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. I mean, when I say that, I mean that because of on the court, off the court, just the total communication. Even when we played, you guys got to notice that, it was, when you get on the court, everything don't click. And there'll be some games where it might not be right with me, it might not be right with Gary, but one of us was going to bring it out the other one. So if the game started and we're not on the same page, you can believe before halftime, you might hear some barking going on between us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you can, but that barking is to get us both back on the same page, man. It wasn't an argument like we didn't like each other, but generally we just cared about each other and each other's game about that way. And it was easy for me to get on him. It was easy for him to get on me, and that communication has always been open.
But even coming to Seattle, you came the year before Gary. Gary's the second pick, although if we're redoing the 89 draft, you were easily the number 1 pick. No disrespect to Purvis Ellison, but come on.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, not so much, like for you guys, not so much for me. When I came to Seattle, obviously we had a pretty decent team. We were about a 500 club here. It had a lot of guys ahead of me. But, when you go to a team and you get to the pros, you're looking for a person to communicate with, somebody who can excite you, somebody who's going to be a challenge for you. And the second year when I knew Gary was coming here, because I really didn't think we were going to have a chance to get him. You got to remember, Gary was player of the year coming out of college, scoring 40 to 50 points a game, and we were over a 500 club, so I didn't really think we were going to have a shot to get him. So when that announcement made that we had that number 2 pick, I think everybody in this area generally wanted him to come to Seattle and play with me. So, that meant a lot. And I think, just from that day one, our communication off the court made us be better on the court.
Well, I'm happy that the year before, he did go number 17. So I ain't even mad at it. thank you everybody that didn't pick him in front. You know what I'm saying? So it worked out for us. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it was just a good thing.
What did you know about Shawn coming to Seattle? Everybody knew about you. You were player of the year. You're on the cover of SI. But Shawn wasn't really known. Wasn't getting a ton of minutes his rookie year.
No.
At what point did you recognize that this guy was just an absolute freak and you could put the ball anywhere and he's going to hammer it home?
Well, when I was in my senior year in college and all the scouts was coming to see me, and Bernie Bickerstaff was the one who was there all the time.
Absolutely.
And he was the Seattle coach, and and all of that stuff. So he was coming, and I was like, yo, the coach is coming to see me and not the scouts.
Mm-hmm.
And so at one point when we were playing in Portland, he was at the table behind it, and he looked at me and he said, I'm gonna get you no matter what.
Yeah.
And when he said that, I was like, yeah, no way y'all gonna get me, y'all a playoff team. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go real high. So all of a sudden he kept saying it. Next thing you know, they didn't make the playoffs. I don't know why. But
We missed out.
didn't.
Yeah.
But it was great that they didn't, and all of a sudden that luck of the ball came. And they had a chance. Their chances were very, very slim. And they got the number 2 pick. And ever since then, Seattle was like, if you're not there, if you're there at the 2nd pick, we're gonna take you. And I was telling New Jersey, don't pick me. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't gonna go. Because I wanted to come to Seattle. So at that point, I was looking at Shawn anyway. He caught my attention when he was in New York and he dunked that one backwards down the middle. And I started watching him, and then I started doing research on him of how his life was, where he was coming from, and all that stuff. And it was just one of them things, and I was like, I got to play with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll bring the intensity that he brings like I do. Yeah. If me and him get together, I think we'll be a great duo.
But it actually started off the summer league that year.
Yeah.
That's when the communication really started off.
And that was before Summer League was a thing.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Summer
Where
League
did they used to have Summer League?
Utah and at LA.
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
Loyola Marymount.
And we've been to both.
Yeah. And then, in our 3rd year, when they were talking about trading us to,
they was trying to get rid of
got to
us.
get rid of both of us. And all of a sudden, they made us go to
Utah for the
Utah
summer.
for summer when Coach Gerg and Coach Carl came in.
Yeah.
But that was the best time of me and Shawn's life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We just clicked really tough then.
Yeah.
We were both averaging about 30 in summer league, and it was just fun because we stayed together for almost 3 months together. And we worked out in Vegas, we worked out in LA, we worked out in Utah, and then that's when we became who we were.
Yeah, because at this time, you guys got to remember, I'll take you back in the league and let you know. So at this time, back then, players didn't generally work out together in the summertime. Guys didn't really communicate a lot. Teams at the time didn't really work out with each other. So generally, when you lost your last playoff game, you generally didn't see a person until the season started the next season. So by us communicating, like we went to Utah, we spent 2-3 months there that summer. From there, me and Gary was kind of like, we kind of liked the idea of hooking up in the summer for a few months, but then we was kind of like, I don't know about Utah. So then we made this pact. We was like, look, man, why don't we get Coach, we're going to talk to Coach, we're going to get everybody to go to Las Vegas.
Yes, sir. It was nice.
So we was like, look, now we're going to start having summer meetings and stuff in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So, to take you back there, I don't know if you know, we were actually probably the first team to do that in the NBA because me and him had a good communication. So now all of a sudden we had guys coming in the summer for a week or 2 weeks to Las Vegas to play ball. We're going over plays, kind of developing the team chemistry. And that's kind of when everything started developing our way towards the championship. But at that time, man, in the NBA, none of the teams were doing that, Gary.
Nah.
Not at all. And I think we were probably the first team to start getting a group together, maybe to go play ball in the summertime. Your own team, that is, go to Las Vegas and just have some fun.
You guys are both young, emerging stars in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You're with Reebok, you're with Nike.
Right.
You each have signature shoes.
Absolutely.
How did you guys not have any jealousy issues? Because that a lot of times is what breaks some of these duos apart. You know, this guy's getting paid, I'm not getting paid. You know, screw this guy.
I don't think we ever looked at it like that, man. We both, first of all, we earned that. You know, we earned those shoes. We earned that nickname. We earned those shoes to get that name on those shoes, and we earned the respect. And when you go through the trenches with somebody like that, I have the utmost respect for this guy here because, I'm the Rain Man, he's the glove. You know, where you get the nickname from?
From my cousin.
There you go.
Yeah. So, as Shawn got to, you got to understand, be jealous for what? This is my guy.
Yeah.
I want him to succeed. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because
that's unique. I mean, in a lot of cases, it's like,
it wasn't no jealousy there because I knew I could get on the floor and play, and he can get on the floor and play. We were gonna get the same amount of attention. I don't care if Shawn goes and get this and get that. That's what I want him to have. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna come and support him on everything that he do. You know what I'm saying? It's not about jealousy and stuff. Yeah. And that's why we were so good with each other and we hung out with each other and did everything together because I didn't care what he got or what I and he didn't care what I got.
It went way deeper than shoes, man.
Yeah, it went way deeper than that.
It went to automobiles.
Yeah. We go get the same cars. Yeah, we was doing everything, man. It was like
name it. It was it was real.
Yeah. So we wasn't into that, man. That don't even make a team. That don't even make a chemistry to be jealous of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted him to have everything. Because every time I'll make the All-Star team, I want him to make the All-Star team.
We going and that's the thing you guys got to realize is this, from playing with this guy here, man, we were able to go to any gym, any arena in this world, and we knew we could win. We had that much confidence. So, we could be, I can remember, I don't know if you remember, I remember us being in Philadelphia and the fans were booing the shit out of us, calling us all kind of names. And then we ended up coming back from like 15, 20 down in Philly and put it on them. And we talked shit to every last fan in the spectrum. And we went to every row of the spectrum and talked shit to everybody in the stands.
I was good at that.
So, and that's what it's all about to me, man. It was about, playing with this guy, man. We go to Miami. Wherever we went, we was going to win. We was expected to win. And to me, that's what the ultimate dream is about, man. To be able to play with somebody and not only know that you're going to win, but you're expected to win.
And people don't understand, we went 5 to 6 years and we won over 50 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went 5 to 6, 7 years and we was 50 or plus wins. Sometimes we was having 64,
Absolutely.
66, 67. The year that we lost to Chicago, people didn't understand. Chicago won 72, but we won 67.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we split that year with them. We beat them here. They beat us in the regular season. So we were good. You know what I'm saying? And then we rolled through. We rolled through the Western Conference that
Absolutely.
year. Wasn't nobody really getting us, but Utah. They took us to Game 7, but we stood up after that. So it was fun. Being here with this guy, it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. We basically going all around the world. We're putting on a show every night, and it's fun doing it. You're getting a chance to join these fans. You're getting a chance to broaden the game. When we first started playing with the Sonics, we were second to last in memorabilia sales. Next thing you know, we first in memorabilia sales. So, to me, that's what it's about. It was about this whole area of Seattle upcoming. I think our energy around the city of Seattle uplifted the rest of these sports around here to up their games a little bit, and also the fans. The fans got involved with this, and then it just took it all to another level. Yep. So, that's what it's all about. That's what we play the game for as players, and I think that's what fans watch the game for, to see guys grow as a tandem. And with us, you kind of saw that.
So for Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, or even guys on your team, what advice would you give to them?
It's called Gatorade, not haterade.
You know what?
For real.
Our era is a little bit different. It was two different eras. These are the younger eras right now where I think that they should talk to each other.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
if Shawn got on me and said some stuff and got into my ear and screamed at me, I don't take that personal.
Like Michael Jordan coming to town tomorrow night, you better have your shit together.
Yeah, I don't take that personal because all he's doing is trying to pump me up and get me right. Some of these kids are so sensitive now that you say one thing to them, they take it in another way. You know, and they have to always take stuff in a positive way. and I think right now, they don't have that leadership that say, okay, when he went in there, I think they should have had a team meeting and just ask Ben, what's the problem? What's up? You know, what you want to do? How can we help you? And I think he would have been more to come in and be more loving with the situation. And because if his teammates would have been behind him, it would have been a little different. But he didn't come in like that. So that was where the problem created. Then it's like you standoffish from your other teammates, and then you go to practice and do the things you do, then it makes you look a little bit different.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to make him look different. You know, when I break this down to you guys, I look at the situation and I see James Harden. Not James Harden, but the kid from Houston, from the Wizards. John Wall. John Wall. I mean, having the same problem. Doesn't want to play for the Rockets, but he's there every game, sitting on the sideline, kind of supporting the team. It's the ways that you can do this now, where you're not such an outcast. You know, I think Ben is kind of taking an older approach, what guys used to do, maybe back in the day. But you can't really become that outcast these days. You're gonna have to work. You generally got to work with these teams in order to be traded. You can't just be like, yo, I don't want to. You like Gary said, you just can't be like, yo, I don't want to play for you no more. I ain't coming. You're gonna have to work with these guys in order for that trade to go across. And you know, people usually want to make that trade when you're in good spirits, not when you're in bad spirits, man. So, I mean, I wish him all the luck, but he's gonna have to bend on his side a little bit in order for him to get moved.
And that's a good point what Shawn is making, because what is he doing is he devaluing his value, because then the other teams don't want to do anything. And then I don't think Philadelphia is asking too much right now. And other teams are not going to get a player at his caliber right now for all their younger players and picks, you know, and it's not going to happen. So as Shawn was saying is that if you stay with that humbleness and just do what you got to do, they'll make it happen. But you know, it's too much money has been made out here, and to flip them contracts like that is nothing.
He's got 4 years left on his deal.
Yeah, and that's gonna hurt in somebody's salary cap and things like that. So it's hard just to give a player to somebody unless you give something back. And I don't think a lot of these teams want to do that.
No, not right now. They're not going to do it.
So how are you handling the two best players on your team? What are you telling them to do so they can foster the kind of brotherhood that you and Shawn have?
I would have never it would have never got to this level if I was running a team. I would have came in there and talked to them.
Not Philly, your team.
My
Lincoln,
team?
yeah.
Oh, Lincoln.
Your boys.
You know what? I'm a little harder. I'm an old school coach. I don't let it get like that. Never. I'm screaming too much. I'm cussing too much. So it's not like that. So I don't have that problem. You know what I'm saying? And we talk out. It comes talk to me. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody above anybody. On our team. Nobody. It's nobody above anybody.
That's the way it should be. Yeah. You keep an open door. I mean, we both played on most of the teams we played for was open door policy. Meaning if you had a problem, generally you can go in there and discuss it with somebody. You know, when those doors get closed, it becomes a big problem.
Yeah.
What's the most pissed off you've ever been with each other?
Pissed off? I mean, probably the most pissed off would be the year when I got traded, man. Seeing this cat on this other team, man. He's playing for Seattle. I'm in this baby blue. And we
ugly as hell.
Yeah, we killing each other, you know.
and that's the truth.
Yeah,
you know, I was more mad at Shawn when he left because I think that he got mad because of what Seattle was doing and wasn't communicating with me so that I could get involved too. And that was the problem right there. And that's what I told him. I said, you know, you made me more mad not telling me about the situation, and let's get it done. And I threaten them and to move and leave and stuff like that, and we'll be cool and we'll get something to get it done. You know, and then I would have took a pay cut. You know, I had got paid the year before, and let's restructure my contract so that we can get Shawn to get the money. You know what I'm saying? So that was when I was most mad at him. But then going to play Cleveland for the first time and playing against him, it was just funny. It was funny that I see my soulmate on another team, and he's going to work on us, and then I'm trying to go to work on his team, and it was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that made me more.
We couldn't even talk shit to each other because it felt so funny.
Yeah. Real funny.
Yeah, we just looking at each other like,
yeah, and that was one game I shut my mouth for a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? And I usually don't do that, but it was Shawn, and I couldn't say nothing, so it was, I wanted to go at his teammates, but it wasn't even worth it. It wasn't even worth it to my time. So, it was one of them things.
Going back to that 97 offseason where Shawn gets traded, if you could hop in a time machine, how would you do that differently? How would you make sure that Shawn stays here, that he's happy?
Well, I think, I'll tell you guys this. I think at the time, me and G had a little more power than what we realized. Than what we realized, So, a little bit, when I tell you guys, just like Ben Simmons, I can tell you what he's going through, he felt like it's like a person telling you to fuck off. You can only take that so much. And eventually you're going to come back and say, fuck you back. And that's kind of what Ben Simmons is doing. And that's kind of where my mindset was at that time, man, that you know how hard it is for us to get to this championship, to take home Michael Jordan? Do you know how much time it's taken for me and this cat to go into this gym every night? Like, how many nights did we avoid going to the club just to go up in here and get these jump shots, over and over again, night after night after night, sleeping in the gym, working out with Coach Gerg till 2, 3, 4 in the morning, making sure that we can make these shots in different angles just to better the team and stuff. So when you realize how much work that you put into it, and then you feel like this team is not maybe supporting you and doing the right things, of course, man, a young man at that time is probably going to make a conscious decision.
And if I would have went back in the time machine, I would have just been more helpful, more involved. You know what I'm saying? Going to the owners a little bit more. The athletes were great, and we just had to communicate, and we had to communicate with our general manager. But Whitsitt had left at the time. That was the bad situation there. If Whitsitt would have been around, I think he would have got paid, and it would have been a lot different. You know what I'm saying? Because Whitsitt was a more of a communicator with us. And as the other general manager took over, it was trying to be the boss. You know what I'm saying? And
trying to prove himself.
Yeah, prove yourself to somebody with superstars. And you can't do that. And that was our downfall, to start going really down. And I hated that.
Yeah, because we had it, man. No, seriously, we really did. We had it, and we were right there. It took us a few years to get over these humps. You guys remember the loss to Denver, obviously. You remember the loss to the Lakers in the Tacoma Dome. We had it. We were right there. So we'd have battled a few hurdles, and then we got right there to be able to take on this champion. And generally, in this world, I'll tell you guys this, man. Back at the time, generally you didn't win a championship unless you really got a repeat at it. So Chicago didn't win that championship right away. They got beat by Detroit a number of years, but they went back with the same exact team every year to overcome those things. And that's kind of how I felt here in Seattle. It's like, here we are, we done made this battle. We can't switch the team up now. We got to come back with the same exact recipe that's just got us to the championship.
Yeah, and just add a couple of pieces.
Yeah, that's all we need to add. We don't need to tear up the foundation. Just to do the same thing. We were only a game or two short. Why change up the foundation of the team? So as a player, sometimes you get these thoughts and these feelings that are uneasy, and you look out for yourself on those decisions.
Looking back at it, you said this, Shawn, those teams were excruciatingly close to, the difference between success and failure is very small.
Absolutely.
Whether it's the 93 team, the 96 team, anything in between, you guys were really, really close. I mean, it's not like you get knocked. I mean, first round exits aside, you were still one of the best teams in the league every year. You were still contenders every year.
Gary just said
what was missing from those teams? Like what could you, or who?
Like every year when you go through this process, you make a roster change or something different. So, and I'll break this down to you guys real fast. So, I mean, it could be a year where, everything is going great, but you get to the playoff time and you might have a guy who's shooting the ball too much, who's been a little selfish. Those little things turn into big things later on in the game because all of a sudden the guys they'll see this guy being selfish, and during the season everybody was on the same page. It's not very hard to see. I mean, basketball is not rocket science. You know, it's pretty easy to see, and it only takes something real bad. So I think in a few years we ran into some problems with us in the playoffs, some communication. We had some guys that we thought were probably a little selfish, that wasn't playing the team ball correctly. And of course, that's not only going to bother myself, but it's going to bother Gary also, because we two-way players, man. We playing offense and defense. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things, man, and it has to go right for this to go right, and it was going right. But it only takes a small fraction of things to go bad in order for you to lose a game. And
Shawn says it. I mean, as we looked at the Golden State Warriors when they went to them 5 straight championships, they had an identity. Absolutely. The identity was that Curry and Clay was the guys that shoot the basketball, and they the stars. You know, and then Draymond did what he had to do. KD comes in, and then they win 2 in a row. And then why? Because they did a thing where they said, okay, I'm gonna take this. Curry steps back and gives it to Durant, and Durant becomes the focal point in that. Yeah. We had to have that identity. Yeah. And the identity should have been me and Shawn. Yeah. It should have been, if it ain't going to him right now, it goes to Gary. If it doesn't go to Gary, it goes to Shawn. And we didn't have that identity. Well, in '96, I think we did. I think everybody started understanding that Shawn and Gary is a team. So we have to go to these 2 young stars. And with Nate and Perkins and Hershey and Detlef, they understood that. They knew that we were the guys. And then when the organization wants to cut them type of guys, they ain't go trade this guy and that guy, and then go trade one of your stars. Yeah. That's not the way you keep a team together. Because I hate that we disappointed Seattle and the fans, is because we could have went to 3 or 4 more championships if we'd stayed together.
Yeah, I mean, you look at those 2 Utah teams that went to the last 2 finals with those Bulls.
Yeah. Right after
you guys were better than those teams.
Yes, yes. And we had just beat that team that year.
Yes.
And then we beat them, and then all of a sudden they don't change nothing. They just added something.
Yeah.
Karl Malone and John Stockton was the team.
Yeah.
They just added around them, and Hornacek was there. Everybody was there, and we should have did the same thing, but we failed to do that.
Is there a guy that you felt was a missing ingredient that you never got? That you're like, oh, if we get this guy, we're winning the title.
I think if we had kept Derek McKee, we'd have been really, really good. I think Derek McKee would have accommodated us because we'd have been a better defensive team.
But I definitely, Derek was one of those players that we leaned on a lot on the court, man, at the time. But you know, we had some misfortune. You know, we brought in Kendall Gill, that didn't really work. Right. Him and Coach Carr didn't really clash that great together. Right.
Eddie Johnson, Ricky Pierce, we brought in, but them guys were more
shooters and scorers.
Shooters, and they had to get the ball, and they had to get reps. You know what I'm saying?
So
and they wasn't used to that.
They were volume shooters, and and that's a tough thing to do at the time. And you trying to tell 2 young guys to bring in these volume shooters? We're not trying to hear that shit. Your volume shooters is right here.
Yeah.
We had Dale and X on the show last time, and I brought this up to them. I say this being a huge Ricky Pierce fan, love Eddie Johnson, but if Dale and X stay with the Sonics, if Tom Chambers resigns, that's a starting 5 of the 2 of you, plus Tom Chambers, Dale Ellis, and X-Man. What could that team have done?
Man, look.
Woo-wee.
Right?
Hey, man, just with X, I mean, you know, we didn't want X to get traded, man. Yeah. He brung a, you know, I owe a lot to X, to let you guys know. You know, I was a baby when I got to Seattle, but when X got a hold of me, he made me a man.
And I was his rookie. I had to go get him good coffee every day and donuts, and pick his daughter up from school.
Man, and I had to go get his.
You picked his daughter up from school?
Yeah, preschool.
I had to go get him some food, chicken. I had to get him chicken wings and soda drinks, man.
Yeah.
Well, every day.
Yeah, he was a monster.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was a monster.
Speaking of X, we've heard what you had to say about the fight between Dale and X. There's a fight at practice.
Oh, I was there.
Yeah,
You said
I held his baby.
They had sticks. They had.
everything.
Oh yeah, I held his baby.
What's your take on what happened? Dale and X were a little mum on the situation. Obviously, they're friends. They were sitting next to each other. But
I was in the elevator when it happened, man.
Yeah, that was too. We
I
both
held-
were in there.
I think,
Because we're going up to go see Witsit.
Witsit.
We're going to
He
go
told me
see
to
him,
hold
and
he
then
said,
all of
"Hold
a
my
sudden,
daughter."
yeah, he said, "Hold his daughter," and bop, 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 and then everything went crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
That's why they call him the X-Man. He's that.
how bad was it?
Hey man, I don't think Dell been in the fight since. he beat the shit out of Dell.
You go back
that wasn't a good matchup.
I held his daughter. But
Yeah,
he
that
beat
wasn't a
the
good
hell out of
matchup.
his ass.
That wasn't a good
Listen,
matchup.
man, that was not perfect
Not
matchup.
that wasn't why.
No, man.
You go back and look at the old articles about it. It's like very, the cops were called, but the details were minimal. They said
was,
somebody was bloodied. You have to assume it was Dale.
It was Dell.
And then X, I think within 2 weeks, X got traded.
Right.
Yeah, that was, yeah, I mean, at the time, I mean, it was like party time at my house because it was like, hey, X is gone. Shit, I was X bag up. So, I mean, I learned so much from X, but I mean, that starting lineup was looking real good to me at the time, man. So, shit, I was like, hell, shit, I mean, he gone now. We might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Did you know the team was talking to X off-season 95-96? So he could have been on that 96 finals team?
It could have been, man. First of all, both of those guys were tremendous players. To see both of them, it was good for me to see X go through what he went through. X was an all-star before I got here. He's one of the toughest guys that ever played this game, I think, physically, man. And then Dell was the first great sharpshooter of the NBA. People don't realize how good Dell was shooting the ball back then. But me and Gary's game was a little bit different. When we came to Seattle, our game involves with getting everybody the ball. And we want everybody not only to shoot the ball, but we actually want your ass to play some defense. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what our game was about. When the older guys were here, it was about getting these guys the ball in the right spot. But once Gary came to town, it was about me and him applying pressure on these teams. So I'll break this shit down to you guys real fast. Let y'all know. So we was like, how we gonna bother every team in the league? So Gary was like, look, you get your big ass up on the ball, and I'm gonna be right here at the free throw line, and we gonna trap their ass full court every play down court. So that's just how we did it, man. I was the head dude on the ball, and I'd run them this way to the glove, and that's how you see so many lobs and dunks because we were full court pressing every game, man. That's what we did. And we was just looking for guys to get on the court who could play both offense and defense. And I think Coach kind of bought into that, and he was looking for guys to get out there to play offense and defense too. That's why guys like Nate McMillan stuck around and played so well because he could play offense and defense.
Yeah, and then Hershey had a good defense.
And Hershey Hawkins was great.
Then we drafted
offense
Eric Snow.
And defense.
Yeah. Eric Snow was coming out of Michigan
and
State
defense.
doing pretty well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we were like that. And then if I would press up, I would get mad at Shawn if he wasn't up there because I'm pressing the guy and turning, and they throw the ball up to Shawn Man, and it relieves the pressure. So I'm saying, Shawn, get that steal, and then you come on and throw it to me. You're going to get a dunk every time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we were doing that a lot, and that's just the way we played. We just played with a passion.
Yeah.
And we knew where each other was going to be. He knew if I got a steal, it was going to be for him.
Absolutely.
It was going to be a lot for him. I wasn't really worried about scoring because we could score. You know what I'm saying? Shawn can be the leading scorer. I don't care. I just was trying to get wins. And we were trying to get wins. And that was just about all what we were about. Wins. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the real truth. What he just said is the most important key to all of this. We wasn't out there on these personal stats trying to average 20 a game. Me and this guy right here, we was like this, man. we about to go out here and win this game, and then we about to go over here to Julian's and get on this pool
And drink
table.
some more.
And we're gonna get a couple of drinks, and we're gonna celebrate these wins. That's how it was, man. It was just like, hey, you know, let's get this win and go to Julian's and get on this pool table, man.
Yeah, and that's how it was. We just wanted to be happy on the floor and then be happy off the floor.
Mm.
If you both, and you come and be happy playing the game,
Right.
once you start hating the game, then you should quit the game.
Absolutely.
When it becomes like a real job for you, you should quit.
Yeah,
Because
fun.
we did, growing up, we used to go on playgrounds and play for free and have fun.
Have fun.
And that's what we wanted to do here. And that's how we played. We
Absolutely.
played
That's
real loose and everything. And it's like the one time when George took me and Shawn out. I threw the ball off the glass, Shawn dunked the ball too hard, and it bounced out. He took us out. And I went right in George's face and I said, you know I'm going to do it again as soon as I get back
Well,
in the
that ain't
game.
what you said. You went over there, you said, motherfucker, I'm going to do this shit again. I don't give a fuck.
yeah,
You pull me out, I'm going to
yeah.
do this shit every time.
I
Every
am.
time you pull me out, I'm going to do this shit.
And we went right
Right
back.
back in the game and did it again.
Did it again, and he dunked it, and I went in his face, and I said,
I told you, motherfucker, we going to do this shit again.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's how we gonna do it. We gonna have fun out here. That's how we gonna roll.
Yeah, that's good stuff, though, bro. I mean, and George was the same way with us, man. He had these challenges that he would do with us, man, and, you know, he coached for something else.
Yeah,
you know?
he was.
Yeah,
He's a
so-
piece of work.
No doubt,
He's a piece of
man.
work.
What's your favorite George story?
Man,
I can't tell you.
Come
I'm
on.
gonna tell you, man.
The people want to hear.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I came out the game. The game was over. You remember I got to the locker room and my socks was gone, man. My dress socks.
Oh, he was wearing them in the
Yeah,
game.
man. And I was like, damn. And then I get to, after the game, man, I put on my suit. And I put my socks on, my shit on wet, my dress sack wet. And I'm like, oh, man. And coach wore my socks during the game.
Yeah, he used to do a lot of that.
forgot
Worn
his
shoes on, his shoes worn down, pulling all over and stuff. He used to do a lot of crazy stuff.
so,
Yeah,
George was-
crazy stuff. George is a
great,
piece of
man.
work. Yeah.
No doubt. It took a special coach to coach us too. We ran 2 or 3 of them off.
Couple of them. Yeah, we got rid of a couple of them.
Yeah. Casey didn't last.
Yeah, he wasn't
You
gonna be there. I wasn't happy with him. No, he had to go.
Hey, that was my boy right there. I love
That's
some
his
Casey
boy.
Jones.
It wasn't my boy.
Oh man, Casey, he gave a good vacation.
Yeah. He wasn't on my side, so I
love
said I don't
Casey.
want to be on his side. Yeah, it was cool.
Gary, you've been coached by some of the best in history, whether it's George, Phil Jackson, Pat Riley.
Yeah.
How are you taking in everything that you've learned throughout your basketball life and applying that to your team now?
A lot, because I think that the two that I take the coaching skills after is George and Pat. I've brought that to my university now, and the way they coached me and the way they held us accountable. As in George, he was a more of a player's coach.
Yeah.
If you do what you had to do, he'll let you play. Pat was more of a guy who was militant. He was always on you, body fat, staying in shape, doing
wasn't gonna
that.
play
And
for
that's
Pat.
what I do. Yeah. I didn't play for him till the tail end of my career because I wasn't paying for him when in my prime. So it was like, I just do that. I mean, coaches that make something stick in my mind, that's what it is. And them two did it because they held me accountable for something. They remind me of my father. He held me accountable for what I did. And when you have that type of coach, it'll bring it back to when you start wanting to coach. And them two were the most for me because they held me accountable for things.
Yeah. No, Coach Carl was awesome, man. I sometimes I still think about him teaching us some of the shit on defense. He actually made the game fun. Coach Carl, he coached, because a lot of coaches either coach offense or defense. But Coach Carl he's gonna coach both of them, and he only gonna respect you if you can play some defense. If he can't play defense, he doesn't respect you. And that's just the truth of it.
But was that defensive intensity that led to a lot of the electricity on the
Of course,
offensive end?
man. Yeah, because he's all about using your hands, trapping these guys, applying pressure defensively. And as he would say, defense is going to lead us into some easy offense.
And what Shawn doesn't understand is that why he got that way is because he brought Kloppenberg into the mix.
Yeah.
He was our defensive coach.
Kloppy.
So he always wanted us to trap, rotate, do things. And when you have a team that's athletic that we were, and we can run around, we're going to get our hands on a lot of balls and a lot of steals. And then that'll take off and get us to running. And I got my hands on a lot of balls. Shawn did too, and I got a lot of steals.
We stealing like crazy. You know, Coach Kloppy. Coach Kloppy was an older coach, man. So you know, when you get older, your fingers and shit go bad. You can't really. So if you say run that 4 defense, you know, Coach Kloppy, he say run that 4 defense. Man, ain't no telling how much you gonna see 1 finger, or you might see 5 fingers. You ain't gonna see no 4 fingers.
And then we went to,
he's saying 4, but
he's
we
like the flashcards because he was
so he
messing
gonna
up
print
so
these
much.
big ass cards, defensive cards.
Yeah, it was good.
We had some fun.
We had fun.
No doubt, man. Yeah. That's what made us, man. I mean, to let you guys know, man. Me and this cat, we come into the league. I'm jumping out the gym. He been killing people in college. We think we real nasty as players, but we found out we wasn't really shit because we couldn't really shoot the ball. We couldn't shoot. Yeah, we couldn't shoot the ball and shit. So, you know, and then every time we get in these games, man, and these teams will just start bagging up off of us because we could get to the basket. I could dunk. We could do all this shit, but either one of us could shoot, man. So it was just like, okay, you know, let's do it. So we just started, we went in the trenches into that gym, man, like all night long, you know, going 2-3 times a day, after practice, later on at night, at midnight, you know, and it's a tough decision to make. You know, you got your buddies going out to the club. What are you gonna do? We going to the gym. So we know these guys at the club, that's ours, and we gonna go to the gym and get some extra shots up. And then it doesn't take long, you know. We started working on bank shots. We took it back to elementary. We went in, we just started working on bank shots. And then we went from 1 foot to 2 foot to 3 foot. So it was like retraining your brain on how to shoot the basketball. And next thing you know, we shoot from everywhere. He become an all-star, and that's the reason he's a Hall of Fame now, because this cat right here put the time in shooting that basketball. He knew. And then I followed the lead. Once they caught on to me dunking everything, I had to follow the lead on shooting the basketball also, because my point average was going down. So I was like, shit, if they're not going to allow me to dunk, I got to be able to shoot this ball.
In the mid-range.
So we went back to the mid-range, back in the gym, man, just learning how to shoot everything. I would just want to shoot everything within the 3-point. So I wasn't a 3-point shooter, but anything inside of the 3-point was my shot. And that's what it was about, man.
People forget how automatic you were from mid-range.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
and
It
then
took a lot of
you
time.
know the blessing for us was George Carlin and Coach Gerd, Tim Bergeridge.
No doubt.
They were the blessing for us because they got us back into the trenches of working out.
Just working out
and getting better at your game.
Yeah.
Because people don't get it. Every year that you come back and you become something, somebody's going to want to take that spot from you.
Absolutely.
And they're going to try to play a defense against you. So you have to have a counter. And we started having counters.
No doubt.
We started doing different stuff. And when Shawn developed that mid-range 15 and 16-foot jump shot, and then he was getting on the free throw line as a big man and shooting almost 80% from the free throw line. That's just hard for you to stop a guy like that who can continue to do that, because if you foul him, he's going to get an automatic 2. If you don't, he's going to dunk on you. If you don't come out and put your hand up, he's going to shoot a jump shot. So that's just kind of hard to guard a guy like that at 6'10".
Yeah, man, so the mentality was, man, we here in Seattle, and we're going to go to the gym, you know, a few hours after we practice, then we're going to come back later on that night and get some more shots up. But then we get on the road and we like, shit, we in Atlanta, we about to go see what's going on. And
Yeah, the road's a little bit different.
Coach Gerd hit us on that phone and be like, hey, we're going to the gym in 45 minutes.
We'll be like, we'll miss that one. Yeah, we'll miss that.
We gotta enjoy this Atlanta right now, Coach. We'll get back in the gym tomorrow night.
Speaking of the Hall of Fame, what the hell needs to happen to get this man in the Hall of Fame? Because that's where he belongs.
Well, yeah, I know that, and I've been doing that. I'm on a committee now, and his name has came up now to be on the ballot. So it's gonna be good. I think so. I think that we got to look at the amount of work he's done in the NBA. But you guys got to understand, the Hall of Fame is not just about basketball.
No,
it's about everything. It's called a Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame.
So think about his
it goes
contribution.
off of everything. Yeah, it goes off of everything in college and
huge.
everything and all that stuff. And we got people in there that doesn't see that. You know, people are on a committee that don't really know the value of looking at his work. You know what I'm saying? So how do you think that Grant Hill gets into the Hall of Fame? It's because what he's done in Duke,
won titles at
what
Duke,
he's doing and this stuff and all of that. So we have to make them understand what he's doing and what his work was in basketball, just naturally in basketball, period. And since I'm on the committee now, it's a little different that I can start that up and doing that. You know what I mean? Just like with Jack Sigma. I voted for him and kept fighting for him.
Wait a minute, look. First of all, Jack Sigma should have been on a damn Hall of Fame list a long time ago.
Right.
Man, I grew up watching Jack Sigma snag rebounds, put them back, getting and ones. So before they put me on that damn Hall of Fame, they need to go put Big Jack on that Hall of Fame. They need to go back and put some good players. They need to really look at that list and go back and put some guys on there. I mean, I'm okay with it, but I think part of me not being on the team, a lot has to do with probably Seattle not being here too. No team, so there's no push for me. If you don't have an organization or a team still, there's really no push for a person to get on a ballot. So we'll see in the years to come. I'll tell you guys this, man. I played the game for the fans. That's why I like to entertain people. I really have, and I've always enjoyed the game of basketball because I always felt like when people left that game, we was going to give them something that they could smile about. And the rest after that, man, is is up to the committee. I'm okay with not being a Hall of Fame, but I can't tell y'all this, man. When I was six times straight, I voted in on an All-Star game.
Yeah.
You don't really got to tell me a lot about the basketball side of it. I'm okay on that. But I think the Hall of Fame, hopefully it'll come one day. You know, I like Gary said, I got some people in there that's pushing for me, and I'm okay
Hopefully.
with that. Yeah, man.
And when you really think about it, Kentucky didn't work out. If you're at Kentucky, you probably win a title at Kentucky.
Probably so.
I don't know. You were on the 94 World Championship team, but you weren't on the 96 Olympic team. You were on the 96 Olympic team. You should have a gold medal. You should have been on that 96 Olympic team.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of near misses, but when you look at your contribution to the game as a whole, and just
I think you're right, but I think also has some misfits, and I think as Gary said, a lot of that stuff comes into play, and then also I think generally when they're going through this, a lot of times they want to see people over a period of time to see how their life and stuff turns out. So hopefully things turn out well. But this is me telling you guys, I didn't necessarily play the game of basketball for the Hall of Fame committee. I never woke up one day and said I was going to go out here and dunk and jump over somebody's ass to get on the Hall of Fame committee. I done that shit because of the fans for you guys. So I'm okay with that. I mean, I've been embraced by the fans worldwide in basketball, and that's never going to change, and I'm okay with that.
The two of you, I mean, you're on this awesome bobblehead right here. I think it's safe to say that your approval rating in Seattle is 100%. You walk down the street, there's not a single person that wouldn't go crazy. I remember one time I saw a woman. You were jogging, and she saw you, and on a dime started sprinting after you. She, that's Shawn Kemp. That's the effect that you guys have on people. I mean, other than Junior could do it in Seattle, maybe Steve Largent, but like there aren't a lot of people with 100%. What does that mean to you to know that you guys are so beloved in Seattle?
Well, shit, I mean, first of all, I let you know that we kind of did a lot around the city. First of all, Gary and his foundation been around here for years and doing stuff. I mean, shit, since he got to Seattle, he's been part of doing all kind of work around the community and stuff, and me the same way. So I think, by you saying that, just lets you know that you probably seen me and him do more than some of the other guys around this area over a long-term period of time. You've probably seen us do a little bit more. And so people obviously going to identify themselves with us.
And you just can't say enough for these fans here. I'm just so sad because we don't have a basketball team.
Right.
As you look at all the Seahawks games, the 12th man and all that, even the Mariners games, even the Sounders games, even the Storm winning a lot of championships. it's so much sports around here for them not to have a basketball team is very, very, very disappointing to me. You know, because these fans are the greatest fans. Now we bring the Krakens. You sell out in for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, what is that telling you about a city that love their sports? So I think that the NBA should think about it, and they've been thinking about it of bringing them back. And I think it's gonna happen. You know, we keep saying it. But I always just fault the people who had the team in 07 and sold it. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. And I think that when we do get basketball back, it's going to be a big thing because this team is very loyal. This city is very loyal. The fans are very loyal, and they love their sports. And that's why it's so good out here.
I mean, the most amazing thing about it for you guys to know is that the Sonics was here, for 41 years. They were the most consistent franchise around here doing stuff in the community for kids. That's why I'm still here, to let you guys know. Because those teams back then, we were able to get around in these communities and do all this stuff for these camps, all these. So it just got me so familiar with the community around this area. I mean, it's 41 years, not the Seahawks, not the Mariners, and then all that's just thrown away. So it's gonna, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to them coming back and them rebuilding that brand up. I mean, they did well for 41 years around here. You know, they did so well that if you look through the NBA history, you'll see how many young, talented people have made it to the NBA after me and this guy here has played. You know, guys from Jamal Crawford, you know, all the way to Brandon Roy.
Nate Robinson.
I mean, there's just
Jason
so many.
Terry.
Jason
Isaiah
Terry.
Thomas. It's not coincidental.
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, I think obviously, yeah, I mean, I think we had something to do with inspiring those guys that want to play the game of basketball. And to me, that means everything, man. So that's what I would like to see back in this area. I think, you know, these people, they need a chance to, everybody wants to be able to go down there and see a LeBron James game, you know, or see some of these young guys play. That's how these kids should get inspired. That's how I got inspired one day by going and watching these guys on TV or going to a professional game and seeing them real life, and then your inspirations kind of flow up inside of you.
You were both at the Kraken home opener, which was electric, great atmosphere. But if we're being honest, the Kraken don't hold 1/100th of the meaning to Seattle that the Sonics is part of it because they're a new team. But still, it doesn't feel like it's going to be that long. Hopefully it isn't, where there will be a night when the two of you are on the floor, KC's behind the mic, they cut all the lights, they introduce you two as two of the best to ever wear the green and gold, and the place just erupts. What will that mean to you?
Man, it's good. Man, it's good. I think for us, it'd be good for the city also to have that recognition and that identity. But let's just keep it real right now, man. All those people at those Kraken games are there for one reason: to be the first in line to get these Sonic tickets when they come back in town. Let's just keep it real, man. They not up in there. Them people, there's only 15% of those fans up in there worried about that hockey shit. Let's just keep it real. I'm keeping this real, man. You got 15%. The other people are all worried about the green and gold coming back to Seattle, and everybody's sitting up there waiting for some basketball to get played in that arena. No doubt about it.
And well, it's going to happen. You know, they wouldn't build a locker room up in there, as you heard about, if it wasn't going to happen. And it's going to happen. And you know, like I said, I'll never retire my jersey in Oklahoma City. For what? I never played there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why would I give them the privilege of doing that? And that'll be a great time for me and Shawn and
I know they're not inviting me to Oklahoma to retire my jersey. I already know.
Sugar. I'm like, you know, it'll be great for all three of us to turn out the lights and all three of our jerseys go up at the same time, on the same day.
Yeah.
You know, that would be great. And it just makes it better for us to have this town back to playing basketball.
Absolutely.
And we can be up here all the time watching basketball consistently every
I mean, the NBA game, you know, when things are rolling, it inspires so much. Even the college game, you know, I can just tell you guys, when we were going through what we were going, these guys at the University of Washington were inspired. It inspired their team to become better. And, it generates a lot of different things. So of course, yeah, we want the basketball to be back around here to generate that electricity around the city again. It should be that way. Absolutely.
It would be amiss to not bring up a certain Golden State Warrior who's doing some things.
Oh yeah.
What's it feel like for you to see your son finally get this opportunity? When you and I talked last year, I told you, I think there's a place for him somewhere in the NBA. So I'm loving every second of this. But as a dad, to see what he's doing on a team that they can make some moves and conceivably be right back on top where they were a few years ago.
Well, they're 10-1 right now, and I just like the way he's playing because Kerr has gave him an identity just to let him play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of these other teams were trying to make him somebody he wasn't.
Right.
My son is not a shooter or like that. He's a scorer. He's a highlight film. You know what I'm saying? He plays within his means. He want to play everything. He want to play defense. He want to play offensive way.
Yeah.
He cuts. He does it. He might knock a jump shot down every now and then. I put in his mind, you're not a shooter, guy. You're just a scorer.
Yeah, he is a
You're
scorer.
getting paid to put around that orange rim, to put that orange ball in there and continue to do that. And that's all he needs to do. They've started off great at 10-1, like I said. They get this kid Clay back. I think they'll be right there.
Yeah.
They're right there. They play basketball the right way.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a team like this play the right way. They play unselfish.
Yeah.
They kick
do.
it to everybody. They play within each other. They're not worried about the person scoring. They know that Stephen Curry is their guy. They look for him. They do whatever. He's getting his 50, but the other guys around him will help him get their 10 and 12. And what I think is so good about it is they get their 15 to 16 minutes, and they make the value out of that 15. My son is playing about 17 minutes, and he just makes the value out of that. He has understood, I'm getting in 17 minutes. If I keep playing great, I'm going to get more minutes. So that's what he's doing right now, and that's why he's been successful. And that's why they're 10-1, because they play together, and they play the right way, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, Gary's so right on point. I mean, and this is just me telling you, when you guys watch these NBA games, you look for one thing. Look for the ball movement. If you don't see the ball moving here, and there, then that means that them guys are selfish as hell out there on the court. They're looking for themselves. When you watch Golden State play, the ball is everywhere on the court. The ball is just moved everywhere because they're very unselfish and they're just looking to score points. They're not looking for any individuals necessarily to do it. And it's fun to watch Golden State play. It reminds me, watching Golden State play is like watching the WNBA. Those girls are good.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, I enjoy watching the WNBA because there's so much ball movement. Yeah. These girls, they know how to move the ball, they know how to play within the structure, and they're fundamentally sound. But the NBA guys, sometimes they're lacking the fundamental skills, so the ball doesn't move around. It's just jacking up threes.
Where did Junior get that bounce from? I don't remember him having that kind of bounce, at least in college.
I don't even know if he's my son.
He's got like Uncle Sean's.
I don't know if he's my son. I ain't never had no bounce like that. I wasn't with Sean. I wasn't Sean. But hey, listen, he's athletic. He's very talented.
But his head's above the rim.
Yeah, he gets up. He gets up. I was at the games, the last couple of games, and he amazed me sometimes when he do it, and I just be sitting there and I'd be like, whoa. And it reminds me of somebody else that I play with. And it's like you see it, but you don't really expect it to be from your kid. You know what I'm saying? So because I play with him, so that's my friend.
So I called him.
I
called his ass during the game the other night.
Yeah,
I was like, hey, did you see
He's been walking around with weights on his ankles? It's insane how high he's getting up.
And it's just scary because he do something different every night.
Mm-hmm.
He gets a better dunk every night, and and it's like they're athletic. I mean, it's just different in the water nowadays. They're very athletic, and he's just a freak of nature to me. You know what I'm saying? He just does things that I'm amazed at every time he does something different.
It's a lot of fun to watch. It's fun to see the Warriors have another run on them. We're gonna play a little game that we are calling basketball card caption contest. So I'm going to show you guys a card, somebody that you played with, and you're going to give us a caption for that card. So first up, this is a 1992 Benoit Benjamin. Upper deck.
Noidy.
What's our caption here?
Hey, man, Big Ben. That's my boy, but he burned them 2 left shoes to that game that time, man. What's up, dog? Hey, man.
Really? He burned 2
2
left shoes?
Well, Ben crazy. Ben was crazy. Yeah, Ben was crazy.
Hey,
I just say cray. You know what I'm
He
saying?
burned 2 left shoes, man. And we ain't had no size 20 just laying around the locker room for him. So I had to play center that night. It's all good.
So he didn't play?
No, he couldn't play.
Now
You're playing 2 left shoes, man. You can't play.
I mean.
That's my boy, Noisky.
Yeah, that's what we call him, Big Ben.
Big Ben could play, man. He saw gentle giant, dude. He gonna jump hook you. I can already tell you his move. He gonna bag you down. He gonna hit you with the left, right, and he gonna hit you with the jump hook. That's his move. That's his game. He was good at it, bro.
He was not one of George's favorites.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. George thought he was a lot lazy. He
Yes.
was real lazy, and he could have been better. Benoit could have been really better if he worked at his game the way he was supposed to.
He was really skilled.
Yeah, he was
he was a
skilled.
number 3 pick in the
Yeah,
draft.
he was skilled.
He could do some things.
Yeah, he was very skilled, and he just didn't apply it to the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, Ben was good, man. We've been we've been wanting the center. You know, like you for years we have been wanting the center, man.
Yeah.
I've been pressuring the organization, like, give us a center, because me and Cage was like the center. You know, Michael Cage shorter than me. He was playing center. I mean, with the Jerry curl, he was a little taller. Cut that Jerry curl off, he was a little shorter.
He wasn't cutting that curl off.
No.
No.
But I'm just saying.
But you had Olden too. Olden
was gone at that time, man. But we wanted a center. And then we got Big Ben, man. That's the one that they got for us, man. Yeah. So Ben, he was a good dude, man. He taught us on the court and off the court.
What did he teach you off the court? What did he teach you off the court?
What not to do.
That's it.
We've got a 1994 Upper Deck Collector's Choice, Kendall Gill.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Kendall.
You're getting quiet over here.
Yeah, well,
He's
we thought Kendall was going to be different than what we wanted to,
well.
and then we found out Kendall had had a thing where he had migraines. Oxygen was going less oxygen to his brain. The migraines that really took him out of basketball for a little bit, and it didn't work for him. He'd get sick a lot with illness, and it wasn't working out.
It did. At that period of time of his life, his health, I think, bothered him a little bit on the court. And Coach, let's keep.
Coach probably wasn't.
Coach Carl. If Coach Carl didn't like you, or like I said, Coach Carl liked guys who could play offense and defense.
Right.
Kendall Gill is mainly an offensive player.
He's pretty good with. He can get some picks, man.
But not with us. Not with us. That one year when me, him, and Nate that was 1, 2, 3 in steals, and we got the posters and we started doing the thing. It was great, But I think the organization just thought they were going to get more out of Kendall than what they did. And like I said, with the illness, with him having the migraines and stuff like that.
At that period of time in his life,
Yeah, I mean, he was going through some things. I remember they called it a chemical imbalance.
Right.
And you look at all of the different mental health resources that they have for players today and the awareness of it. Mm-hmm. You can't help but wonder how different it would be today, where they're like,
because
this guy's weak, we're trading him.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember at the time, man, Kendall was, and a lot of times he had to bring the oxygen tank with him.
Right.
They had to have an oxygen tank.
Right.
So
on the plane too.
And on the plane.
So make sure that he wouldn't pass out or anything like that, or something to happen. So it just didn't work out for us at the time, and they pulled the trigger. Like I said, pull the trigger too fast, and we could have worked it out. But
what did we get? Hershey? Is it when Hershey came in?
Yeah, Hershey came in.
And that was Hershey was everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hershey Man, Hershey Hawkins was good, man. I have to tell you.
Shoot it, play
Yeah,
I mean,
nothing against Hershey.
I mean, nothing against Kendall, but for our team, Hershey Hawkins is what we needed because Hershey Hawkins was one of those players that wasn't even appreciated enough.
Right.
Yeah, he was like one of those guys that didn't get enough attention, but he was really, really good. Man, he could shoot the shit out the ball. He could play good defense, much better than what we initially thought.
Right.
So, yeah.
Kendall's shoe game though, those Jordan 9s. Nice.
Yeah. He was with Jordan.
Well,
Kendall
Chicago. He had
Chicago.
Jordan everything on, man. Like, Kendall had Jordan everything on, man. Like, you can't.
He was a Jordan fanatic. Yeah.
You can't wear Jordan everything and play against Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
But I can interview the two of you.
Yeah,
with
but
you guys on
we're
my
not
sweatshirt.
playing though. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be.
But we ain't wearing none of your gear.
We don't be.
No.
You don't want to be dressed like Mike and go play against Mike.
You
don't
can't
want to do
do
that.
that.
You can't do that.
Even with Kobe was infatuated over Jordan, but he wasn't wearing his stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was being Kobe. You know what I'm saying? He got his own shoe. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know.
We've got a top stadium club. Steve Scheffler.
Scheffler,
Look at that face. What's your caption for this card?
crazy chef. That's what he was. He'll run through the wall, man. Have blood everywhere, man. He'll run through the wall for you, man.
That guy,
But
man.
Chef did whatever he had to do
He
for
did.
us.
He made
man.
us better, bro.
He made us better,
He
man,
made
when
me
he got on
better.
the floor.
Yeah, how hard was it to battle that guy in practice?
It wasn't necessarily that hard, but it was a challenge. It was a challenge because Chef had one speed, 150. 150 miles per hour.
Sometimes he get to 200.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah, but Chef was a great guy, great team spirit, great dude in practice. Oh man.
Didn't spend no money.
Cheap
No
environment.
money at all. He'd come with the same tennis shoes the whole year.
Yeah. Hey, man,
Crazy.
He
No
wasn't making your
slacks.
kind of money though.
One
You
pair of
can't give
sneakers,
him-
82
He didn't want to. He said, why should he spend money when he can wear them out? You know what I'm saying? Get holes in them. I was like, what? Hell, you got a lot of money, buddy. Get you about 5 pair of them. And it'd be good. You ain't got to spend the
One
money.
pair with a little tape, he's good.
Yeah, he's fine. One polo shirt. That's it.
Got a 94 upper deck. This is a 93 NBA playoff card with Big Smooth on it.
Oh man.
Smooth.
Big Smooth.
Shoot it. He is shoot it. You know what? When Big Smooth came to us and he was so slow.
Yeah.
Everybody used to think he was always smoking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He says we talked to him last year. He said he smoked once in his life.
That's it.
And everybody's like,
Everybody
same
thought he
person, hi.
smoked, but he didn't. I was about to say that. But he could shoot it. He was the first stretch big man to me, where he could knock him down. You know,
No
when
doubt
you seen
about it,
him
man.
in North Carolina and do the things.
Yeah.
And on the block, he was kind of smooth too.
Yeah,
he
he
had
was.
a baby jump hooks and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, he made us better. He made us a
No
lot
doubt, no doubt. And you guys got to remember, man, at the time that we got Sam Perkins, this cat was playing on bone. He had no cartilage in his knee, so what we got out of him is amazing. What we got out of him, he was actually playing on bone on his knee. He had no cartilage or anything in his knee. We got a lot of respect for Sam, man.
You remember who he was traded for?
Sam was traded for
I don't
Benoit.
remember.
Yeah, Benoit.
Benoit?
It was Benoit.
It was Benoit?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Doug
Where he
Christie and
went to
Benoit.
Yeah, I was happy. I mean, I
Wait,
didn't say that.
where
Hey,
did he
cut
go?
that. I didn't
Lakers.
say that.
Lakers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
I wasn't happy that big got traded.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam could stretch the floor a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. We were pulling the trigger on too many things where we should have stayed together.
Yeah.
We should have stayed there. But, that was what their decision was.
Yeah, man, at one time, man, we had this lineup. It was a crazy lineup, man. We had Big Ben, myself, Derek McKee, Nate McMillan, and Gary Payton.
A lot of size.
You hear what I'm saying? That's a huge lineup. That's what, over 7 feet, 6'9", 6'10", 6'9", 6'10", 6'9", 6'10", and then these two.
6'8" and
Yeah.
6'4".
Yeah, man, that's a pretty big lineup.
Got a good one for you here. It's a 1990 Hoops Gary Payton rookie card. What's our caption? Who are you talking to?
That is right there.
Talking to Bob Whitson.
That's right there.
You're talking to Whitson?
I can tell you what he said. Show me the money.
Is that a Rolex? It looks like a Rolex.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Rolex.
You still have that?
Nope. No. I gave it to my father.
Okay. You still have the hat?
Got the hat.
Okay.
Got the original hat. That one right there. It's framed up in my memorabilia room. It's pretty nice. Everybody's been trying to buy it from me, get it off me, but no thanks. But that was a great moment right there. You know, talking to Whitsitt, and he
that was a hell of a day.
He basically saying congratulations and then talked to Bickerstaff after that. So it was nice.
Man, that day right there, man, you talk about, I went to the club that night. I got a point guard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last one. This is a 1996 Upper Deck Sherrell Ford. Technically it's a rookie.
That's your rook.
That's my guy.
That's your rook right there, man.
People forgot Sherrell Ford. What can you tell us about Sherrell Ford?
It was a little different. I mean, Sherrell was different.
Sherrell was definitely different, man. He was wiry, but man, you know, he didn't have no confidence, but we got his confidence level to go where he started making his shots and stuff, driving to the hole.
Right.
He was a good player, bro. Let's see, Burrell, man. At the time, we had so many good athletes. This cat couldn't even get no time on the court, you know, and we just had too many good guys, you know. We was known for having a loaded team, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't, we kept 2 or 3 shooters on the team, like on the bench. It was, I mean, if you're playing for the Seattle SuperSonics and you run to the bench, you might not be the most excited person in the world when you see all that talent on the bench. You might go over there, you might be like, damn. You know, because we had that many good guys on our bench. So a guy like Sherrell probably never blossomed because he didn't get the opportunity.
And I say this too. I just think that he didn't live up to the potentials that we really wanted him to live up to.
Yeah.
I think getting in the gym, working harder.
There you go.
I think it got too comfortable when you get a kid that is not used to winning like that.
And you start winning.
You're going to, and then what we're doing off the court, and you're trying to keep up with the stars, and you can't. And then you come in to perform, and you don't perform like we do, because we know how to go out and party and then come back and play the game. It's a difference. And then when you get caught up into that partying, and then you come to the thing, and you're that 12th man down the totem pole.
You got to be ready to play.
You got to be ready to play, and you got to be ready to show coach something. And I think he really got caught up in that.
That's a nice transition, because we're going to wrap things up playing a game that we are calling Vacation, Club, Ghost. I'm going to give you 3 names. You got to pick a guy that you want to go on vacation with. We call it a week in Hawaii. Guy that you go to the club with, and a guy that you're ghosting. You're not
messing with him at all.
Yeah, we're not having this here.
All right.
So to kick this off, Kendall Gill, Hersey Hawkins, Dana Barros. Vacation, club, ghost.
Which one are we going with first?
You choose.
Okay, I'll say Dana Barros. I'll go to the club.
Is he rapping at the club? Dana has some flow.
Yeah, Dana was he was legit. Hershey Hawkins, I'll go to vacation with.
Yeah, don't
and then
doubt
who else
vacation.
the next one?
Kendall.
You're
ghosting Kendall?
I ghost Kendall,
man.
I ghost Kendall.
We're going to ghost Kendall, man, because, I mean, it ain't nothing wrong with Kendall, because, you know, Kendall is a 6-degree black belt that will knock you out. Don't get it wrong. And he is a professional boxer, too, bro. And keep himself in great condition.
Yeah, he always do that.
But, we're going to have to ghost him, because Dana was the, you know, he was picked right before me, the 16th pick. That's my boy. You know, outside of Gary, that's where my love would go as far as a teammate. And then, who was the other one?
Hershey.
Like I said, man, Hershey.
Good guy.
Just a great guy.
Good guy.
Man.
A family.
We didn't know what we was gonna get. We didn't know we was gonna get with Hershey, but Hershey was everything for us, man. He was like our secret ingredient. You know, no doubt about it.
It seems like he'd be a good guy to go on vacation.
Yeah,
you have a nice vacation with Hersey. Vinny Askew, Michael Cage, Sedale 3.
Fidel for sure go to the club.
Oh,
Fidel for sure go to the club.
Vinny vacation.
Vinny, nah. Who you say Vinny and who else?
Michael Cage.
Michael Cage.
Man.
Ooh, that's
It's not
hard.
easy.
Oh no,
That's
you want to
hard.
go. You want to go to vacation with Michael, man.
I go to vacation with Michael. I got to ghost Vince
Vinny.
Askew.
Vince,
I got to
you
ghost
gotta
Vince.
ghost Vince.
Yeah, I got to go.
My bad.
Because you
Vinny.
go to vacation. Nah. I say Vinny go to vacation because he going to have fun.
Yeah.
He going to always want to kick it with
Oh,
you.
Cage
And
gonna be able to read
just
a
want
book.
kids want to read a book and
Shit,
do
no,
all
hell
this
no,
stuff.
no.
Have his briefcase. I got to ghost Cage. I ghost him.
Frank Burkowski,
Oh shit.
Steve Scheffler, Rich King. Vacation, club.
We
go.
go.
I'm going Frank to the club.
Club, no
I'm
doubt.
going Frank to the club.
We no
Oh
doubt
man, no
about
doubt about him.
it. Frank going to the club.
Rich King.
Ghost.
He kind
No,
of
I'm
was a ghost. He never really
I'm going
played.
Rich King to vacation. He'll be fun.
Who's
He'll
the
be
other
fun.
dude?
Scheffler, ghost
You're gonna
him.
ghost Chef?
Oh yeah, I gotta ghost Chef.
Oh, shit.
Chef boring.
So you're ghosting Rich
Chef
King?
boring.
But that means you're going on vacation with Chef, Sean.
He gonna do that. He gonna be bored as hell. He ain't going no Chef. Chef ain't gonna do shit. What he gonna do?
We're gonna be able to play tic-tac-toe.
Yeah,
like we be over there
tic-tac-toe,
playing.
tiggly wings, hopscotch. Nah, man, I ain't doing that. Chef gotta go. Gotta go. Yeah, it is. Patty
Yes,
cake.
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I can't do that.
Vacation, club, ghost. Ricky Pierce, Craig Elo, Eddie Johnson.
Oh, I know who you gonna go.
Eddie, I'm going to the club.
I wanna
Eddie
hear
would be
this.
great in
I
the
gotta
club.
change my seat. I want to hear this. I want to see where you go.
Yeah.
Elo, I'm going to vacation.
I want.
Ghosting Ricky.
Big paper daddy.
Ghosting Ricky.
I knew it.
Ricky, I'm ghosting.
Did you and Ricky ever make a
Ricky
match?
a troublemaker. Ricky ain't a troublemaker.
Oh,
I'll ghost Ricky. What you gonna do?
Same for you?
What you gonna do?
oh man, Deuces. Deuces is on another level, man. We got to ghost Deuces because he was never. That's Ricky Pierce, man. He was never. Ricky was a little older than us. He just couldn't understand us, man. So Deuces had one thing. Only thing he wanted from us is pass me the damn ball.
Ball. You don't see me pass
Get
the
those
ball.
shots up.
And that's why we call him Deuces, because all he want to do is get a bucket. Man, look at him.
I thought it was because he was 22.
Man, no.
Man,
no.
Because he want to shoot that
He want to
deuce.
shoot the ball all the time.
Nate, Dale, X.
Oh shit.
I'm going to go to the club with X.
X. No
I'm
doubt.
going to go to vacation with
Nate.
Nate. And then I'm going to go to
Dale.
Dale. Got to go to Dale.
we
Dale
go.
boring too.
Dale boring though.
Yeah,
man.
but he really ain't boring. But he like to gamble and all that stuff. But he got to ghost him.
We're going to go to the front office here. Vacation club goes. Trader Bob Whitsitt, Wally Walker, Howard Schultz.
Oh, man.
Oh, I love it. Boo! Vacation club ghost.
Vacation, nobody.
Nobody.
Bob Whitsitt, I'm going to go to the club with
Club
him.
with him.
Them other two, kick
Ghost.
their ass up out of here. Ghost their ass.
Ghost.
Both of them.
Ghost.
I ghost both of them.
Yes, both of them, man. Don't even mention them names. Though, man. Bob Winston, we good with, man. We good
I
with.
go to
we
club
good
and
with-
vacation with
We
him.
good with Trader Bob because you're going to have to play for Trader Bob not to trade you.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap this up with three of the all-time best guys that you played against, played with in various capacities. Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Shaq. Vacation,
I'm going
club,
to Shaq. I'm going to
ghost.
Shaq vacation. I'm going to the club with
Barkley.
Barkley.
No doubt. We going to
And
drink
I'm
all
a
You're ghosting Michael Jordan.
I'm ghosting Mike.
You're ghosting Mike too?
I don't shit about that. Hey,
Nobody
shit.
hanging. You don't
Ain't
see-
nobody hanging out.
You
with
never
me.
seen Michael
I'm
Jordan
cool.
hanging in no club, man.
I'm
You ain't
good.
got-
Yeah.
you ain't-
I'm
you
good.
never-
He's
you
at the
never-
casino.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, by himself probably. I'm hanging out with Charles Barkley
I'm
and Shaq.
definitely hanging out with Charles and Shaq.
No
both of
doubt
them.
about it.
Yeah, we good with that. Yeah.
Well, that's going to wrap it up here. Huge thanks to both of you guys.
Right on, man.
How can we keep this conversation going? How can people find you? I know you're both on social, but what's the best way for people to get in touch with you guys?
Hey, man, we're around. I mean, You know, we popping up everywhere. We always around. We've been friends for many years, and we're gonna be friends until eternity.
Yeah.
Just the way it is. You know, Gary stay busy. He coaching, so that's where his focus is right now. And you know, I'm gonna stay busy selling weed.
And look here, and this is what we do. Simply Seattle, right here.
Yeah.
That's how they can stay and focus with us, because we're gonna keep doing stuff with Simply Seattle, because we love Seattle.
Absolutely.
And they're the biggest thing to keep in Seattle and this Sonic stuff going.
No, absolutely, man.
Stuff,
Simply Seattle have done a great job, man. Not just selling the memorabilia around the area, but also keeping that Sonic vibe continually going throughout the community. Because we need that, man. We got to be together in order for when this team to come back, for us all to be on the same page and everything. And I think they've done a wonderful job doing that.
And they did a wonderful job of keeping us involved with this. Like, you see our lovely fans out here, right here in the audience now. They got them to be a part of us. You know what I'm saying? And this is how you be a part of us, to see us all the time. And this is what we do. You know, we here, we do a lot of events. And you guys got to understand, we're going to be in Seattle all the time. I know a lot of you guys always see us in Seattle. We are always everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We come to games, we come to the Kraken games, we come to other stuff. We even, me and Shawn even did the draft, you know, right there on the water. So we here. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to send no Batman signal out to get us. We always going to be around, so don't worry about that. We always going to be around.
Well, Seattle loves you guys back. Let's give it up one more time. The Rain Man and the Glove, Shawn Kemp and Gary Payton. We will see you guys next time on Sonics Forever Live.